Have you ever stood in a slow-moving queue in the supermarket? Maybe the person in front of you is struggling with their card, or perhaps the till has broken. You suddenly feel that bad mood come over you. You feel like being grumpy. I know I do sometimes. Or perhaps you've experienced ghosting. That's when someone suddenly stops replying to your messages without warning, just disappearing like a ghost. Or maybe a large company has taken advantage of you. I frequently say, the idea of customer service died with the pandemic. Lots of companies treat their customers very badly. Or maybe you have to deal with a rude boss who's unpleasant to you. There's really no need for that, is there? It seems like being nice is less and less common in our modern world. Road rage, being rude, and leaving nasty comments about people online. All of it gets normalized. If you normalize something, it means you make it seem as though it's normal when it's not. And if you look at the wider world at the moment, in particular some of our world leaders, the way that some people are treating others without thought, without compassion, in ways that are inhuman even, you may agree that we need more kindness and niceness in the world. With ordinary people on the whole, if someone is nice and kind, other people will show that same back to them. And it does make the world a better place. I always say, don't underestimate the power of small kindnesses. So how might we make more niceness, more kindness happen in the world? And right at the end of this podcast, I'll share with you an example of someone's kindness to me in the last week. Today's podcast is here to help you with your English language learning. You'll get lots of words in this one about human relationships, lots of abstract nouns, which it can be hard to get English language practice with. So let's practice some English today with 8 ways to be nice. After all the horrors that we see on our televisions and our computer screens and phones, let's remind ourselves what it means to be nice. This podcast was inspired by an article in Time magazine called 8 Ways to Be a Nicer Person, written by Angela Haupt and published in January 2026. The first idea on how to be nice: make connections with people by purposefully looking for something similar or familiar in the people you meet. Is there a way to think, that's something that happens to me too, or I feel like that too? It's often just simple human experiences that we have in common. So this is about finding a common meeting point, finding a place with other people where our worlds cross over. I remember years ago being stuck in the queue for Eurotunnel. You know, the tunnel that runs between England and France under the sea. If you're delayed and there's a big queue of cars, eventually drivers get out of their cars and start talking to other people, sharing their stories of where in Europe they've been driving and what places they've visited. It doesn't matter that these are people you'll never see again. It makes the queue less frustrating, and it can mean good humour in a situation where people might feel angry or annoyed. Or imagine being at a music festival and feeling a bond with a stranger next to you because you both love the same type of music. When we have things in common or shared humanity, we feel more empathy. That's empathy, empathy and more liking for other people. Another idea: finding something we admire in every person we meet. They may not be someone who's going to be your best friend. They may not be someone whose views you share, but find something in them to admire, even if you have to work at it. Second idea: give back. Be generous with your time and effort. This means doing kind things that benefit other people. And especially if you're happy with your life, you're in a good position, a good place. Volunteering your time and effort to help other people is a good way to give back. You might give your time and work for a charity. That's CHARITY. You could give blood, or you could offer yourself as a mentor to a younger person. That's mentor. A mentor is someone who has experience and knowledge, who advises and supports a younger person. You may not be able to give back to those who supported you and gave you opportunities. They may not be here anymore, but you can do a more general giving back. And just a word to say, if you are finding that you are picking up new words in English in context with this podcast, your English will improve even more quickly with our low-cost subscription service. And I mean that, low cost. 8 extra ad-free episodes per month will help you immerse yourself in English and speed up your English learning. It costs you much, much less than many English courses and other ways of learning English that don't work as well. To immerse yourself in English, that means to hear only English. This is the only way there is to become fluent. If you're interested in low-cost subscription, go to adeptenglish.com to find out more. The third way of being nice, showing kindness. Show people that you are listening and that they have your attention. Listening properly requires that we put in effort. Sometimes we need to put to one side what we want to say for a moment so that we can stay with the other person's story. Keep eye contact. Give the other person space to talk. When people are in deep conversation, they mirror each other's posture. It's called postural echo. Notice when this is happening. It shows that there's a real connection between you. And your phone. If you're giving someone your undivided attention, as we say in English, this means not looking at your phone. In fact, not even having your phone in your hand. Think about what this phone in hand might look like to someone else, especially a child. It's as though there's something ready to distract you and take your attention away at any moment. Number 4, how to be nice. Ask good questions. Remember the answers, and then you can follow up. You can ask the person about it next time you see them. Remember what it's like in other people's worlds, not just your own. Of course, it's normal to reply to someone with an experience of your own that's similar. And sometimes that helps build a connection. But know when it's more important to stay with the other person's story rather than bringing yourself in. Ask further questions. Show interest and empathy. It shows respect and that you think the other person's experience has value and worth. Number 5, don't underestimate the power of a genuine smile. That's smile. Even to people you don't know, a smile is disarming. The word disarming, disarming, well, I guess it means taking away arms, taking away weapons, defenses. A smile is an approach which tends to win people's favour and confidence and reduce suspicion and hostility, all with a smile. And it's free. It doesn't cost anything. Number 6, levity. Levity. You might not know that word. Levity means being light-hearted during frustrating situations rather than getting annoyed or angry. See frustrating situations as an opportunity to introduce some levity. It means light-heartedness in your attitude. Maybe you're waiting in that long queue at the checkout in the supermarket, and it's moving at snail's pace. That's another English phrase we use. And tensions are rising. If you make a light-hearted comment to the person behind you in the queue, make a joke, it might just lift the mood for everybody. It's good to speak to people who you don't know and who you'll never see again. There's an opportunity in that little moment of shared experience to connect and be amused together. It's a very human trait to bother to be friendly, even when we'll never see people again. And if nothing else, it helps pass the time. Number 7, use people's names. Our brains are programmed to pay attention when we hear our own name. I don't know many other Hillarys, so I really jump when I hear that name. I automatically think it's me. Learn your neighbours' names. Learn the postman's name. It shows warmth and it shows that we notice the other person. Number 8, if you really want to be nice and be a good human being, then don't cut off or distance yourself from people with different political views or other viewpoints. Don't live in an echo chamber. Don't just talk with people who already agree with everything you say and ignore anyone who disagrees with your worldview. Instead, be open-hearted and build bridges. Make a connection first of all over things you have in common, places where you're similar, like shared interests, shared experiences, or finding the same things funny. Then when the disagreement comes, remain respectful. Allow others to have a different viewpoint. It's not your job or place to persuade them that your viewpoint is right. Don't push it down their throats, as we say in English. Remain respectful. It's okay to agree to differ. And respectful discussions between people who disagree can be the most interesting ones. Sometimes people achieve greater understanding of the other side. Surely that has value. And my example of someone being nice and kind, last Sunday I was out doing some art outdoors with a friend, en plein air, as we say. We were practicing drawing buildings in the street, and a lovely elderly lady came out and asked, "Do you want a cup of tea?" That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. It's not a kindness or a niceness that you ask for or you expect, but it's lovely when it comes. And a quote from one of my favourite writers, Jack Cornfield. He says, "The heart is like a garden. It can grow compassion or fear, resentment or love. What seeds will you plant there?" Thank you so much for listening.